Catch it with 976 Tuna. Hey, it's Philip from 976 Tuna. What a drive, 1,000 miles down here. It was beautiful, made lots of friends, and now we are here at our second home, Hotel Palmas de Cortez. Can't wait for the games to begin versus the Hoffmans and the Shaws. Let me tell you, the Friedmans are ready. Hotel Palmas de Cortez is well known by anglers around the world, and it really is a second home for many of us who keep coming back every year. But believe me, it's not just some old fish camp on the beach. Palmas is a luxurious, full-service resort that combines state-of-the-art hospitality with all the charm of old Mexico. We love it here, and I know you will too. I'll tell you more about Hotel Palmas de Cortez as we go along. It's late summer here in Baja's East Cape. The air temperature is in the low 90s and the water temperature is an astounding 92 degrees. It's really, really warm. But as warm as it is here on the beach, it's even hotter out there. We have a chance to catch 3 different types of billfish: striped marlin, sailfish, and the majestic blue marlin. And the regal roosterfish await us along the beach. It's a wonderful time to be here, and we're glad you're with us. To make our annual trip to Baja California a little more interesting, we brought along some old friends to help us out. We've also added a unique competition. We're going to keep you up to date on the tournament rules and the scores as we go along. But for now, we just want to welcome you all to the 976tuna.com Baja East Cape Invitational. Hey everybody, the competition is about to begin, but this year there's a ringer in the event. It's Brian Shaw from the Los Angeles Lakers. This year's competition pits 3 angling families against each other. Team Shaw is headed up by Brian, the Lakers assistant coach. He'll be fishing with his kids, Brianna, BJ, and Bianca. Nikki'll do the cheerleading. Team Friedman will put me out on the water with my sons, Philip Jr., Patrick. Family friend Luke will be our 3rd angler. Team Hoffman is led by Catch It director Pete Hoffman. His team is his son Bill, his wife Kathy, and daughter-in-law Jessica. Pepe from Hotel Palmas de Cortez will be our head judge. Our catch and release tournament will play out over 3 half days of fishing. Standings will be based on points for each game fish landed by each team. As the sun rises on day 1, it looks like another beautiful day, and we're all anxious to get out of the water and start the competition. Brian always puts his family first, and it looks like he's going to start inshore where the kids will have a chance to get in on the early action. Frankly, this may not generate a lot of points for him, but on the basketball court, Brian was always about the assist, not the individual points. I guess it's the same on the water. Bianca has her hands full with a quick hookup on a needlefish. That's not a game fish and won't count in the tournament standings, but I don't think she cares. Besides, when's the last time you caught a fish that was nearly as long as you are tall? Looks like Bianca and Nikki are pleased with that first fish. Brian's next assist is a quick hookup and handoff to Brianna. That fish seems to be a little deeper, so it's probably not a needlefish. It's pulling hard, so it could be a rooster worth 50 points. Looks like Team Shaw is going to make every fish a team effort. Brian is picking up some slack. But apparently BJ is going to finish the job with a little helping hand from Dad. Wow, that's a nice pargo. It's worth 10 points. Not a big score, but great on the dinner table tonight.
Crazy.
Brian wasted no time hooking up again. They're still fishing pretty tight to the beach, fishing live bait for roosters, but this fish seems to be pulling just like the last one. Score another assist for Team Shaw as B-Shaw passes off to Bianca.
Well, that's another snapper.
It's another fat pargo.
Another snapper.
Team Shaw has an early lead in the pargo division, but it's only worth 20 points on the tournament scoreboard.
You're watching Catch It.
While Team Shaw is fishing inshore, my boys and I are taking a different approach to the early competition. We're outside trolling for high-scoring billfish, and it's paid off in a hurry. Patrick's on a nice striped marlin that we hooked on a blind jig strike.
I'm leaning back.
This is a really tough fish, and it's putting on a great aerial display. It's spectacular, but the energy these billfish put into jumping makes it possible to land them in a reasonably short period of time on fairly light tackle. If they fought down deep, I think marlin could be as tough as any tuna. But for reasons unknown, their survival instincts cause marlin to come up out of the water, and they typically wear themselves out in a series of leaps and tail walks. Striped marlin are caught year-round in the East Cape, but especially abundant in the late summer and early fall off of Hotel Palmas de Cortez. Sometimes it seems like the hotter the weather is here, the hotter the marlin fishing. Patrick is paying the price on this fish. Luke and his brother aren't going to show him any mercy, so they won't let him sit down in the fighting chair or seek any shelter under the shade canopy. Patrick is going to have to battle it out standing under the blazing Baja sun while we all sit back in the shade and just watch the action. We're about 20 minutes into this battle, and that fish is still putting on a heck of an aerial display.
Film it, because you might lose it.
It looks like that fish is finally done, and Patrick only has a few yards of line to go. But it's still jumping and fighting till the very end.
Come on! Right here! Oh, he's right here. I got it. Don't lose him! You gotta be a B-Shot!
This fight lasted over 40 minutes, and in this heat, both fish and angler are beat. Nice fish, Patrick, scoring a big 100 for Team Friedman.
My arm is aching. It hurts so much after that fight. It's worse than lifting weights at football, man.
After day one, it looks like the Friedman family's taken a comfortable lead in the competition, but we're going to have to await the official ruling on that striped marlin.
How can they disqualify that marlin? It was dead when it got to the boat. What are we gonna do? Just let it float away?
But Pepe has ruled. The fish was mortally wounded. Team Friedman takes the lead with 100 points. With the late summer heat, we all agreed that we'd keep the competition to just a half day so everyone could be off the water and back to the resort by noon. Besides, we all want to have the chance to take full advantage of the tremendous amenities of Palmas de Cortez. There's an executive golf course, tennis courts, and really luxurious full-service spa. Of course, there are beautiful infinity-edge pools and the swim-up bars, the stunning white sand beaches and gin-clear water. But there's so much more to enjoy here. This is truly something for everyone. Even if you don't want to fish, Palmas de Cortez isn't just a fishing destination. It's truly a full-service, world-class resort. Day 2 dawns hot and clear, and it looks like the action is going to be as hot as the weather. Jessica on Team Hoffman's boat is already hooked up on a nice sailfish. Pacific sails are uniformly bigger than their Atlantic coast cousins, and the sails taken here in the East Cape regularly approach 100 pounds. This one probably isn't quite that big, but it's still putting on a great aerial display, and it's really testing Jessica's stamina in this heat. She's gladly taking advantage of the fighting chair and the shade canopy, with everyone on Team Hoffman is coaching her right along with the boat crew. Jessica grew up in Idaho, and she's been an angler all her life. She was catching trout and salmon when she was barely big enough to walk, but she's new to the saltwater game. Before this moment, the biggest saltwater fish she'd ever encountered was a barracuda, and that berry was about the same size as this fluorescent green clone this sail just tried to swallow. Jessica's sail looks like a really nice fish.
Good. You go start taking some look. Fast as you can when he's giving you line. Grind, yeah. Keep going. Keep it tight.
When the deckhand grabs that bill, Team Hoffman just scored their first 100 points of the competition. Great job, Jessica. Now let's get that fish back in the water. While Jessica was landing her first sailfish, we were scoring our own points for Team Friedman over here on board the Whiskey. Philip is also hooked up to a Pacific sailfish, and it's putting on its own aerial circus. Philip's choosing to stand up and fight this fish out in the sun. Well, he didn't exactly have any choice but to fight it like this. His brother and Luke aren't going to show him any more mercy than he did with Patrick's marlin yesterday. The minutes are ticking by and Philip is keeping the pressure on this fish, but it's still really green and pulling hard. He's doing a great job keeping a steady bend in the rod and winding in line while he's pumping down on the fish. Makes me proud. I guess after all those days of watching Dad pull on fish, it must have taught him something. Too bad I wasn't a brain surgeon or something, so I could have taught him a skill with a little more payoff. That fish has been going for about 30 minutes and it's still red hot. That bill could inflict some real damage. It takes some courage and experience to bill a fish like that and bring it on board for a quick photo before the release. Score 100 more for Team Friedman. While we all had our eyes off the stern watching Philip's fish, our skipper spotted something in the water ahead of the boat. The second we released Philip's sail, Jose started moving over to pick up a green turtle. The turtle was in obvious distress, tangled in some discarded fishing line. Jose, the deckhand, is untangling the line and bringing the turtle on board so Philip can do another good deed with his second release of the day. That's a much happier turtle. What a beautiful sight. On day 2, the competition is really starting to tighten up. The Friedmans put on another billfish, but radio reports suggest that the Hoffmans have landed 2 sailfish today. This is really getting interesting. Indeed, it turns out that while Team Friedman decided to head to the beach after we untangled the turtle, Team Hoffman hooked up with a second sailfish less than 5 minutes after Jessica released her fish. It's approaching midday and the heat is building, so Bill is seeking some relief, fighting this fish from the chair under the shade canopy. Normally, we'd all give Bill a hard time for that. After all, Bill is an Ironman, a triathlete that has competed all over the world, including the World Championship in Kona. But the reality is that he's recovering from some surgery, and Ironman or not, he probably shouldn't even be out here pulling on a fish. But he's game and just couldn't resist the competition. Or maybe he couldn't let Jessica get one up on him. Bill may be pulling hard, but that fish is pulling back just as hard. It's a tremendous battle and a fish that just refuses to quit fighting. Bill got that fish to the boat just after noon, but since he hooked it just prior to 12, Pepe's going to allow it and score another 100 points for Team Hoffman. As Bill's fish is safely released, he's going to join it for a quick swim to cool off in the azure waters off the East Cape. I wonder if swimming in water that is 90 degrees really does cool you off. After day 2, the Friedmans and Hoffmans are tied for the lead with 200 points each. I've got to be honest with you. It looks like Team Friedman and Team Hoffman are running away with the tournament. The Shaws seem to be out of the competition. What's up with Brian?
To me, it wasn't about the competition. I had enough competition this year.
Remember the Lakers-Celtics final? While Team Shaw is taking a break around the pool this afternoon, the rest of us are headed up into the mountains behind Los Gorillas for a little off-road adventure. The concierge at Palmas de Cortez set us up with these ATVs, and one of the hotel guides is now leading us up a beautiful canyon just minutes away from the resort. We're back here in the backcountry of Palmas de Cortez. This lush canyon is a far cry from the arid desert that most of us associate with Baja. It's a real oasis, just full of life. Believe me, you've got to experience this, and the staff at Palmas de Cortez can set it all up for you. We've even got a shot at some freshwater shrimp. Patrick, you got one. Looks like we've got appetizers for a happy hour tonight. It's the last day of our tournament, and Team Shaw's once again fishing inshore to keep the kids involved in the competition. Brian may be a little burned out by the competitive season he had with the Lakers, but he's still out there trying to coach his kids into the running. Bianca and BJ are both taking turns on this fish. Meanwhile, Dad is right back in his role as coach. Team Shaw is definitely all about teamwork.
Cool.
Real. Keep reeling. Go reel. Don't stop. Work, BJ.
Sure is.
He's getting close. Oh, he's running again. Bianca, watch out.
That is big.
There goes Bianca.
I'm running. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah.
Good job.
BJ's and Bianca's rooster fish is worth 50 points for Team Shaw. A couple of more roosters and Team Shaw could be right back into the competition. It looks like Brian has already hooked up with another one. Brian is going to fight this fish on his own. It seems to be a much bigger fish than the last one, and roosters are extraordinarily tough fish. With their brightly striped bodies and comb-like dorsal fins, roosterfish are a very distinctive member of the jack family. But like their distant cousins, yellowtail and amberjacks, they're ferocious fighters. Roosterfish in the East Cape range from juveniles that weigh just a couple of pounds and are often caught surf fishing, all the way up to mature adults that can exceed 100 pounds. Matched with the right tackle, roosterfish of any size are one of the world's great game fish. The beaches surrounding Palmas de Cortez are the world's most productive fishery for these tropical exotics. Beautiful fish, Brian. Score another 50 points for Team Shaw. This is our final day of competition. One good fish could tip it either way. I wonder what Team Hoffman's strategy is going to be today. Well, it turns out that Team Hoffman is pulling out all the stops. They started off the day with a real switcheroo on our team and hijacked our favorite boat, the Whiskey, right out from under us. Then Pete pulled a real strategic move and moved Kathy to the head of the trolling rotation, and it has paid off big for them.
You want a boat?
Kathy's hooked a striped marlin that could be worth 100 points. Unless Team Shaw can really stack up the points with a bunch of roosters, that marlin will move Team Hoffman into a comfortable lead. Kathy is yet another experienced angler on Team Hoffman. She grew up in San Diego and her dad was an avid fisherman. He started Kathy fishing on their family boat as a kid and she's never stopped. Over the years, she's fished all over the world with a number of impressive catches, made all the more impressive by the fact that she suffers from horrific seasickness. Pete claims she even gets seasick on the dock just looking at the water. But look closely and you'll see that patch behind Kathy's ear. Like a lot of anglers, it's made all the difference for her. And it looks like Kathy's fish may make all the difference in the world for Team Hoffman. Kathy is gaining ground on the fish, and it looks like she'll be able to add another 100 points to their team total. Sorry. Kathy's success on that marlin is a product of both her experience and her tackle. She's fishing with a precision Abbott reel coupled to a custom-built whopper stopper rod that suits her frame perfectly. She may not be in the Iron Man condition of her son Bill, but note who's fighting their billfish standing up in the sun. There's a lesson here for all anglers. The right tackle and the right techniques can pay off. It's not all about brute strength. Kathy's got that fish to the boat, and when the deckhand grabs the bill, Team Hoffman moves into the lead. Great job, Kathy. Our tournament ends with Team Hoffman on top. Oh well, maybe next year. I'm Philip Friedman. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Catch It.